What I mean by this comes, well, I'm thinking of a book from 1982 or so. How Now, Brown Cow. This is a book that I came across when I was teaching in Brazil, and it's by Mimi Ponsonby. The title speaks of elocution lessons, like the rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain. How now, brown cow. Elocution lessons is something native speakers of English used to have to improve their accent. And in a way, the very title tells of the difference, the movement in pronunciation teaching from then to now, from an elocution model to an intelligibility model. The whole approach here about it being correct rather than it being functional and working, all of that has turned right on its head in the last couple of decades. And so old books from the time tend to get thrown out, like and then the baby with the bathwater thing comes in here, because there's such a lot of good stuff in some of these old books. And in particular, in this one, I was rereading it the other day and have these great practical experiments that your students can do when working on pronunciation. For example, this one. You know this one? Yeah. So I'm using this quite a lot to get students to aspirate P, T, and K at the beginning of a word, just to give them a little bit of a, if the paper bounces out, let's try this, paper, then it's sounding good. If it's not bouncing out, try and make it. Making a difference then between P and B, for example. A little practical experiment, and okay, you do need to exaggerate it a bit to make that paper move, but so what? A little bit of exaggeration to get there is good, and once you've got there, you can pull back a bit. Okay, so that's what I mean by an experiment. Something the students can do that supports the evidence of the ear, because you can demonstrate P, B, the difference as much as you like, but if the ear doesn't hear it, it's sometimes good to have another kind of evidence that isn't just the ear. In this case, the movement of the paper. And then there's this one. Let's call it the calipers, where you're trying to prove to the students that their jaw drops with certain vowels and closes with another. So you can do it like this. You put your hand there. X is the distance. Watch the distance. E, R, like that. Get the students to put their own finger on their own nose and chin and do it for themselves. And it's a kind of a practical experiment that they can do. It raises awareness of this particular movement. Okay? Well, I won't go into any more experiments of this kind, but you might have noticed that there are certain things that you can't experiment with so easily, and those we'll come to later under the title Imagining.